Well, Karoline Leavitt served as White House Assistant Press Secretary in President Trump's administration. She's a New Hampshire girl. She's a Christian believer, and she says unapologetically she's conservative. She ran for Congress last year as the first Gen Z nominee, and she now serves as the spokeswoman for MAGA Incorporated, working to get President Trump elected to a second term. Please welcome to the show, Karoline Leavitt. You know, it kind of sounds like there's some other people that are hoping that happens, right?
Absolutely, yes.
In full disclosure, you know, it's only fair for me to acknowledge that, you know, I've openly and publicly said I hope President Trump is elected again, because I think he did not get to finish what he started. And I like what he started, to be honest with you. And I think a lot of Americans did.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a crowded primary field, so it's not just a coronation. It's going to be a nomination process. What do you think the biggest challenge for the president is, over these next 9 months or so before the primaries and caucuses start?
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having me, Governor. Is this not the best show on television? It really, really is. And I'm honored to work as the spokeswoman for Make America Great Again, Inc., which is the super PAC supporting President Trump's re-election campaign for 2024. And it's so important to us that we do two things. First of all, that we expose truths about all of the other Republicans getting into the race. It is becoming a crowded field. Nevertheless, President Trump continues to dominate in the polls. In my home state of New Hampshire, the first in the nation primary. In Iowa, he's up by more than 30 points. We want voters to understand the truths about those Republicans getting into the race. And also, we are pushing the message that President Trump's administration, the work that he did for the American people, and the contrast between life in Donald Trump's America and life in Joe Biden's America. And it really couldn't be more clear. And so what's the greatest challenge? It's just hammering that message away and reminding voters what we had just a few short years ago with a booming economy, a secure border, and law and order in our communities.
Karoline, I think that's a good reminder, because we did have those things. One of the concerns that I have if President Trump does not get the nomination, and I know there's some good people, many are friends of mine that are going to run. That's fine. It's America. People can make their choices, and I respect that. But here's my fear. If Donald Trump is hounded out of the nomination by the press and by the lies that we now know are absolute lies, the Russia collusion nonsense, all these things that were hit him. You know what? I feel like that what we've done is say that in the future, if you want to beat someone, forget about the ballot box. Don't worry about the election. Just hammer them with legal entanglements, hassle them to death with federal investigations, and make life miserable for them. If we let that happen, we'll never see the end of that in this country, and it could be the end of us.
It's exactly right. I share that fear. I know millions of Americans across this country share that fear as well. This is a political persecution, what we've seen over the last several years of President Trump. It started the day he came down that infamous golden escalator, of course, right? And they've been after him for everything. Now the truth is always revealed, and the truth has been revealed in a big way the last few weeks with the Durham report confirming what we all knew to be true, right? That Hillary Clinton paid and planted the Steele dossier, endless litany of investigations into President Trump's taxes, his family, but he continues to fight. And that's why it's so important that we, the American people, continue to fight alongside with him, because I believe not only does he have the best record to run on, and we felt that in our own lives just a few short years ago, but he's the only candidate that has the fortitude to stand up to the swamp in the way that he has over the past few years.
I think that's maybe one of the most important things. I don't know how he got out of bed in the morning with all this stuff coming against him. And it does occur to me, too, that, those of us who have been able to be around him in just private moments, he's one of the funniest, unbelievable sense of humor. Most Americans never get to see that, but he's so upbeat.
He is.
People think, oh, he's angry and bitter. He's one of the funniest and most outgoing people, and the public perception of him painted by the press is so dishonest. And I know that's got to be frustrating to you.
It's so frustrating. And that's one of the first things I learned working in the White House press office in Donald Trump's administration, right after your wonderful daughter. I served on the team of Kayleigh McEnany, the press secretary. However, I saw two things. One, how unbiased and unfair the press is. We would show them truth, stats, data, real facts, and they would go on the north lawn of the White House and report the opposite. I'm like, what the heck? These people are lying through their teeth blatantly, and they'll do it. They'll continue to do it to ensure President Trump can't get back in that White House. And then secondly, I saw just how friendly and wonderful President Trump truly is. He cares about we, the people, so much. He doesn't have to do this, right?
Yeah.
He had a pretty good life.
He had a good gig going before he got into politics.
Before he got into politics. And the fact that he's stepping up to run again, knowing just how hard they'll go after him, is enough to, of course, respect him, but also to vote for him again, because we cannot revert back to pre-Trump days in which the establishment class and the billion-dollar war machine runs this country. We, the people, run this country. This is our government, and President Trump is here to protect it for us.
And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm still supporting him, and I'm glad you are. Now, for our audience, you can follow Karoline on social media and check out MAGA Inc. We've got the links to do just that on Huckabee.tv. Hey, Mike Huckabee here. Listen, if you love your mom, apple pie, and being conservative, you know you ought to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and click the like button, and show all the leftists out there that conservatives are thriving and patriotism is far from dead. Am I pandering too much? No way. I'm just getting started.